A couple of people coming in now. Well, good evening, everyone. It is 8 o'clock. It is the 15th of September. It's Tuesday night, which is pub quiz night. Thank you for joining me. We'll get going in half an hour until this quiz begins. I'm talking to you once again from here in the Fifth Arrondissement in Paris, where it has been a hot day, a few hot days. Up here on the 6th floor, but starting to cool off now. I've got my front door open to try to get a bit of a through draft, and I'm hoping that that my neighbours don't mind too much. That there's a mysterious English voice gently wafting out into the corridor asking trivia questions, but they seem like a nice lot. I've said bonjour to a few of them. Even exchanged names with one of them. So that was lovely. Most of the neighbours here, because these are very small flats in the Fifth, they're what's called a chambre de bonne, which is a maid's room. And these were literally the rooms that you'd have right at the top of the house, and where the servants would live. So very cramped quarters for them and cramped quarters for us further on. But that means that today the people that are willing to put up with that tend to be students and creative types. So quite a lot of students, I think. And of course, here I am in the Fifth. I'm just down the road from the Sorbonne, which is one of the most famous universities of France, a big political university for people who study Sciences Po, political science. Local equivalent, I suppose, in Britain, people tend to study PPE. Well, I think there's only a couple of universities where you can actually study PPE if you're not from the UK. PPE, before it meant personal protective equipment, meant politics, philosophy, and economics. So that's the sort of thing that people who go to Sorbonne, I think, study. I might have that mixed up, but it's it's a serious, an academic sort of university that studies the kinds of things that you would expect to find in a fictionalized university. Just gonna grab some water. Hello, Eclipse. Thank you for joining us. I'm keeping my water behind the wall because I've got quite a lot of electronic equipment here, and I'm deathly afraid of spilling it. I'm quite a clumsy person. Spilled some water on the floor the other day, and it was just by some cables, and I swiftly moved everything. But in the past, I've been pretty awful with my tech. Notably, as I think I've told you before, having spilling crab and sweet corn soup that I'd got from a Chinese takeaway on this laptop. Sorry, this laptop, really. I'm pointing at you to create an illusion, but there's no reason that I need to do that. Which ultimately destroyed my webcam, which is why I use my phone for my webcam, and why you see me then suddenly going to this side and that side and this side and that side. Normally I try to keep the phone fairly close to the laptop, but I've not done that tonight. So you'll see a lot of this angle, a lot of my noble profile, and my very Roman nose. So we'll get going in 25 minutes until this quiz begins. Well, 26 minutes, really. For now, all I need you to do is to go to tiny.cc/ftpubquiz159. Head over to tiny.cc/ftpubquiz159 and sign up your team there. That's FT, because that's me, Felix Trench 159, because it is the 15th of September. Can you believe it? Halfway through September already. Certainly doesn't feel like it to me. next week, I think it will officially be the end of summer next time we do one of these. It certainly feels like the height of summer here in Paris, which means there's been great fruit. I'm a fig fiend. I love figs, and I've been gorging on figs whenever I can get them. And there's a limited window of time when they are available in France, an even more limited time window when they're available in the UK. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen figs in the UK that were grown in a country closer than, well, Spain. Turkey is the biggest exporter of figs, as we discovered in a previous quiz. So that was a question I asked you about figs, because I had figs on the brain. Hello, 19. Hello. Head over, folks, to tiny.cc/ftpubquiz159 and sign up there. Already a couple of you signing up. Devon team straight in with Devon, you want me, baby? Devon, you want me? Oh, everybody. Devon, you want me, baby? That's enough. Mango. I like that. I love a mango, don't you? I know that some people, it's one of those fruits that some people are allergic to, and if that's you, you have my pity. Perhaps you don't want pity. Perhaps pity is actually a negative word. Sympathy. You have my sympathy, because I think a mango is one of the great joys of life. Having a lovely fresh mango. I love it when you pull the skin off and it comes away easily. It's like it's almost like pulling off leather. And it has a kind of rough texture of where the bits of mango are. You can't do an ollie without breaking a few legs, and they comment, may have been playing too much Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Yes, I knew that an ollie was a skateboard trick, because I must have played a skateboarding game at some point in my life. And skateboarding was an important part of teenage life in Belgium. I wasn't a skateboarder. I did have a skateboard, and I tried it, but I wasn't very good. So some of that terminology did filter through ollies and half pipes and kicks. But I think, more honestly, there would probably have been like skateboarding options in. I had a PlayStation 2, so it would have been some PS2 game where you could get on a skateboard at some point and do some tricks. But I don't know what the ollie is specifically as a trick. Troublers, welcome back. Whiskey's the soup of the day, welcome back. And Sweet Human Contact, welcome back, all of you. We will get going in 22 minutes until this quiz begins. Make sure that you are signed up over at tiny.cc/ftpubquiz159. FT, that's me, Felix Strange, 159. It's the 15th of September. Quiz starts at 1:30 p.m. Which, from my perspective, is 8:30 p.m. The latest that I have run quizzes since I've been in France here on good old GMT +1 or BST +1. I find that infuriating. We all knew where we were when everything was just in relation to GMT. Yeah, GMT +1, GMT +5, GMT -8. And then a few years ago, everyone was very keen to be very precise and refer to BST as well, British Summertime. And so suddenly BST is GMT +1, and Paris then becomes GMT +2, and Portugal is GMT +1. And I think realistically we should refer to GMT as a cultural thing rather than a precise measurement, because then we can all very easily say, no matter what time of year it is, yes, I am currently in GMT +12 or whatever. So I was saying we're here in GMT +2, as it currently is, or BST +1, doing these later quizzes. I haven't had dinner again. That was foolish. But I've had a fair amount of cheese. I left the cheese out on the counter, and now that, I mean, if you want to talk about foolish things, as I said, it's been very warm, and it wasn't a puddle, but it was a hard cheese that had gone quite spongy by the time I got back in, because all of the heat just filters up through the building and seems to gather in this one little chambre de bonne. Hey, it's 11 minutes past 8, which means we get going in 19 minutes. What I'd like to do now, please, and a couple of you have already done so, and I thank you for that, is head to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench and drop a couple of quid per player in the virtual jar. If this was a regular pub, I'd be going around the pub with a wine cooler or sometimes a jug. I've done it with a champagne bucket a few times, but a wine cooler is the best thing because it holds everything nicely. And I'd be getting teams to pop in their £2, £2 here, £2 there. The best days are when everyone pays me in exact money, or like the first few people pay me in exact money, and then people start paying me in notes, and I can pay a team of 2 back who've paid with a £5, and I go, here's your £1 change, and it's really satisfying. The worst is when every person is a group of 1 and everyone's decided to pay with one £10 note, and I'm there queuing at the bar going, hello, can I have £1 million for change, please? But do head over to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench. Samashati says, I do believe that Frontside Ollie at least is a song with 18 million views on YouTube. I am not aware of Frontside Ollie, the highly viewed YouTube song. Who's it by, Samashati? Sweet Sweet Human Contact says, we're way down here because the fonts were all being weird and / or we're confused. So long as you're happy, then I'm happy, wherever you are on the Google Sheet. We'll get going in 18 minutes, folks. 18 minutes until this quiz begins. I think everyone here is probably a regular. But if you're not a regular, let me know. Give me a wave. Go and do that in the chat. Come and say hi. Samashati says it's by a Finnish artist, Robin, who was like 12 or something when the song broke big for him. I do remember there being a very young artist called Robin who was the talk of the town for about 30 seconds. That must be the same one. I thought it was a woman. Well, a girl, if she was 12. Half pipe Ollie. Frontside Ollie, I beg your pardon. Well, I should listen to it. Find out what all of the fuss is about. Get going. I wonder if Finnish artist Robin is a fan of tar-flavored products. After you told me about tar-flavored products, I went on a bit of a tar rabbit hole. Is it Tavel? 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 How do I say it properly? For those of you who missed this, it turns out that tar-flavored things is a common flavor in Finland, and is considered a local delicacy. One of those very strong flavors, from what I read, that every country seems to have an equivalent of, and that locals like, but is something of an acquired taste in Britain. Of course, we have Marmite. In Australia, they have Vegemite. In is it Iceland where they have the fermented fish in a can? In Japan, they have the fermented plum natto. I've tried that, and I couldn't get into it much as I wanted to. And from what I read, tar-flavored food, as in the black sticky stuff, but you can make an edible version of that. It sounds awful because it's what we put on boats and roads, but not all tars are created equal, and ultimately it is a fossilized. Am I right in thinking it's fossilized? At least an aged version of sap. So there's a connection there to maple syrup, though a much stronger flavor from what I understand. Samashati tells us that tar is very good. I believe from what I read, either you told me this last time or I read it online, that outsiders, people new to tar flavored things, yes, I think it was you who told me this, Samashati, that the foreigners are brought into the flavor by trying them out on ice cream, tar flavored ice cream, because that has a high sugar content, and so is easier to ease into and get used to. We are going to get going in 14 minutes, everyone. 14 minutes until this quiz begins. Make sure that you've got your own writing implements, pen and paper or pencil, or maybe the writing part of a pair of compasses. I need a new... I was very rude about compasses on Twitter about a year ago, and something along the lines of how unnecessary they are. And I've found so many uses for them ever since. So I take it all back. I'd like a pair of compasses. I tried to find my old compasses in my parents' house, but the house was burgled a while ago, and they took my teenage pencil case, which is very upsetting. I mean, all it had was, as I say, a pair of compasses and an ink eradicator. Remember those you'd use to wipe out fountain pen? And some Tipex and some pencils and things, most of which were broken. Samashati says, yes, some of the tar ice cream is quite mild and scaled tar flavor. That's how I started eating tar stuff as a kid. Well, that makes sense. A way to indoctrinate children and foreigners to tar flavored things. We should all try tar flavored things. Hey, folks who are not from Finland, what would you say that your local strongly flavored food that people from outside might not necessarily immediately be into is? What's your equivalent if you have one? I'm trying to think what an American one would be. There must be one, but I'm drawing a blank. I think possibly because something that I've brought up with some of my American friends recently is that the signature dishes of the USA, as they are sold to the rest of the world, tend to be like big crowd pleasers that already come from another country. So hamburgers and pizzas and so on. Barbecue. It's hard not to like those things unless you have food allergies. But I can't think of a specific like really strongly flavored thing. Barbecue sauce, I mean, everyone likes that. Maybe that's just because American food is widely advertised through the prevalence of Hollywood. Chopped liver. I've never had chopped liver. I've had much liver. I do like liver. I think liver is one of those things that that has become unfashionable and is being brought back as countries rediscover nose-to-tail eating and offal and things like that. Yeah, I like liver. Licorice, yeah, licorice is nice. Licorice, I think, is quite common in a lot of countries, but certainly not a flavor that I think is universally adored. I'm a big fan of salted licorice, the one that they have in the Netherlands and Scandinavia. Elizabeth Wallace says in the south they have chitterlings made from large intestines of cows or pigs. I think they smell awful, but some people love them. Is that the same as an andouille sausage? I think that's what andouille is made from. Now, chitterlings turns up. Does it turn up in Roald Dahl? The word chitterlings. Let's find out. Chitterlings. Roald Dahl. The Pig by Roald Dahl. Gosh, I'd forgotten about this. Oh, it's quite long. Where does chitterlings come in? Here we are. They want my bacon slice by slice to sell at a tremendous price. They want my tender juicy chops to put in all the butcher's shops. They want my pork to make a roast, and that's the part'll cost the most. They want my sausages in strings. They even want my chitterlings. Yeah, that's where I know the word chitterlings from. I haven't thought about it in, well, I mean, possibly since I was a single digits person. Salty licorice ice cream is very good. Is it? Oh, I'd like to try that. Today I had very nice ice cream. I had 2 scoops. 1 scoop of speculoos, which is the spiced biscuit that you get in well, quite a lot of Europe now, but which has its origins in Belgium and the Netherlands, sometimes called speculaas. And gets sold as a biscuit spread now called Biscoff butter. And the other scoop was sesame, black sesame, which I last had in Japan about 15 years ago. And I loved then. And the one that I had this time wasn't quite as good. I don't know if my palate has changed or what's going on there. I think we could do with a bit of light. It's getting dark. Not getting any cooler. Definitely getting darker. Hey, there we are. And as the white balance sorts itself out, it decides that my face is blue. So let's move the light there, and hopefully my face won't be blue. Isn't that interesting how white balance works? I mean, I look a lot more haggard now, but that's okay. I can look haggard for you. If I move it up here, I become blue as the light is mostly reflected from my computer. But then back down here, the light comes from somewhere else. Now, why is... Oh, my phone is very warm. Folks, my phone is deciding that it's hot. I'm hoping that it will survive, but we may end up with some kind of... it may end up being an audio-only quiz at some point. I hope that's not the case. What a shame. What an absolute shame. So 7 minutes, everyone. 7 minutes until this quiz begins. Hey, make sure that you've headed over to tiny.cc/ftpubquiz159 and signed up there. tiny.cc/ftpubquiz159. Sign up there. Let's steal a distinctive pub quiz. Welcome. Someone else very much enjoying that team name. I don't get it. Is it a reference to something? Table for 1, please. And La Triviata. Hello, all of you. Oh, and here's this. Rule of 6 brackets. I never get more than 6 in the fiction round, which is hello and Dano. Hello to Dano. And Dano to hello. So we'll get going in 6 minutes, folks. Make sure that you've gone to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench. That is ko-fi.com/Felix Trench, and drop a couple of quid per person in the virtual jar over there. That is ko-fi.com/Felix Trench. We'll get going in 5 minutes. 5 minutes exactly. Rachel Lloyd asks if I got a new fridge. For those of you who have missed that in the past, it's been pointed out that when I move lights around, it looks like I'm opening the fridge. Sort of. I don't know if it works on this one. A little bit. My fridge here is a lot better than the one on the boat, let me tell you that. And the reason it's a lot better than the one on the boat is even though I've got less room here, it's further away from my bed. Whereas on the boat, it's right next to the bed. So every 20 minutes, when I'm trying to sleep, my fridge just goes for about 20 more minutes and then it turns off. It's reliable that it will start as soon as I put my book down. As soon as I use a Kindle, as soon as I turn off the Kindle, my fridge then goes, oh, good, you've got time for me then. Let's have a chat. So I have a chat with my fridge. I don't know if there's any point getting a new fridge. I think all fridges do that. But anyway, this fridge over here is a little bit further from the bed, and although it also does that, it's less noticeable. We'll get going in 5 minutes, everyone. 5 minutes until this quiz begins. Make sure that you've signed up, and thank you to the person who just paid for the quiz by going to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench. Make sure you've signed up over at tiny.cc/ftpubquiz159. Hello, David the Problem Parrot. What a lovely name that is. More information on Let's Steal a Distinctive Pub Quiz. I've been watching Leverage today. I believe that's a television show. So our team name is from that. I have never watched Leverage. I have heard it's very good. Anne Weaver says, hello, everybody. Say hi to Anne's boyfriend, Jay, who's going to join the fun for the first time today. Jay, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining Anne on this evening of trivia. I'm sorry if my phone overheats, blows up, and I'm a scarred mess of blown up phone. But at least you won't have to see that, because my phone will have blown up and you won't be able to see me anymore. You will still be able to hear me if that happens. I hope it doesn't. We will get going in 3 minutes, everyone. 3 minutes until this quiz begins. Make sure you're signed up over at tiny.cc/ftpubquiz159. tiny.cc/ftpubquiz159, because it's the 15th of September and I'm FT. I said that in the tone of voice that would indicate that that was the end of that segment, and now we were moving on, and I'm FT. And here's a little record from 1968 that I think you're going to enjoy. No, I can't do that. We'll get going in 3 minutes, folks. 3 minutes until we begin. 2 minutes now. Make sure you got your pen and paper. Make sure you got your drinks. I've not asked you in a while what you're drinking. Hey, what are you drinking, folks? I've got some water. Can you hear the sirens? CJ Lines, hello, welcome. Bianca Benilla has peppermint tea. Must be cool enough to drink peppermint tea. I quite like peppermint tea. It's I think it's difficult to dislike. It's difficult to love. I love, unless you love a peppermint tea, in which case it's very easy to love. But what I like, going back to licorice chat, is a mint and licorice tea. I've mentioned this on the quiz before, but mint and licorice, that's a very good infusion. Bianca says it's the first autumn chill is here. Where are you, Bianca, that your first autumn chill is there? Where I am here in the fifth arrondissement of Paris, the autumn chill has certainly not arrived. It's about 33 degrees at the height today. NYC. Now, of course, I think a lot of the what's the words that I'm looking for? The characteristics, not characteristics, the signifiers of autumn come from the northeast of the United States. People talk about the kind of the leaves turning to gold, and people talk about New England, and obviously the pumpkin spice latte comes from that corner of the world, because the pumpkin is not originally grown in many other countries. Hannah Wallace has got an Arnold Palmer. I don't know what an Arnold Palmer is. I've heard of it. Is that the one with grenadine? Arnold Palmer beverage. Combines iced tea and lemonade. Oh, a lemon iced tea. Okay. I've lost the stream. There it is. Zach Sheffield has got sweet tea, and that's all of the drinks. And here we go, folks. It is 8:30 or 7:30 London time, and so on and so on. Welcome, everyone, to the quiz. Quiz is now in session. Quiz is now in session. Get your pens ready. Get your pages ready. Here we go. Question 1. This is question 1. The American Brittany Walsh holds the world record for the furthest arrow shot with what? Brittany Walsh is an American world record holder, a Guinness World Record holder, who shot an arrow using what? The furthest this arrow has gone, I think it went for about I think it went about 12 meters, if I'm right. So, Brittany Walsh, I'm asking you, holds the world record for the furthest arrow shot using what? That is question 1. And after question 1, what comes next? Why, it's question 2. Question 2 is languages, alphabets. I want you to tell me, name me a country that uses the Hangul alphabet. I'm spelling that Hangul. Name a country, please, that uses the Hangul alphabet. Hangul. Hangul. Name a country that uses the Hangul alphabet. That is question 2. Please name a country for me that uses the Hangul alphabet. Eileen Jones says that Trader Joe's has gone pumpkin spice mad. I have to confess, I have never had a pumpkin spice anything in my life. Whenever I've been in the position for a pumpkin spice latte, I've declined because I don't like sweet syrups. But if there were, I think I'd still enjoy a pumpkin drink if there was a way of it not being a kind of sweet syrup. A couple of new teams coming in. The Knuckleheads, welcome back. And silently eating Thai food while my parents sleep. That's from the household that frowns on Thai food. You better not have been eating that Thai food. Thai food is lovely. Question 2. Which country uses the Hangul alphabet? Question 3 now. Question 3 is politics. This is politics of Canada. Canada. One for the Knuckleheads then. How many prime ministers has Canada had in the 21st century, including the current one? How many prime ministers has Canada had in the 21st century? So that is question 3. How many prime ministers has Canada had in the 21st century? Some opinions coming in on the ubiquitous pumpkin spice latte. Eileen, not a fan, but has to keep her opinions to herself because she has intolerant friends. Sorry to hear that, Eileen. Maybe get some new friends who respect your opinion on the pumpkin spice latte. Rachel Lloyd has never had a pumpkin latte either, and has a cup of water, which has a slogan on it. I've also got a cup of water, but my cup of water does not have a slogan on it. It does have a crack inside it, though. How many prime ministers has Canada had in the 21st century? That is question 3. And question 4 is film. This is film. In the 1986 biopic, up to you. In the 1986 biopic Sid and Nancy, the actor Gary Oldman plays which famous bassist? As in someone who plays bass in a band. In the 1986 biopic Sid and Nancy, Gary Oldman plays which famous bassist? God, it must be great being Gary Oldman. He gets to play such interesting parts. And he has done for such a long time. He's so good. Love Gary Oldman. Question 4. The 1986 biopic Sid and Nancy stars Gary Oldman playing which famous bassist? That is question 4. I think the problem is that I don't go to Starbucks often enough to have ever tried a pumpkin spice latte. I once had I've had a syrup once. I had a sweet hazelnut syrup in a hot chocolate, and it made the whole thing so sugary. I don't know. I used to like sweet things as a kid, but I think as I've got older, my tolerance for sugar has rather plummeted. That said, I do like Haribo. I had a packet of Haribo Smurfs, which you can't get in every country. But Haribo Smurfs are the best Haribos, and they taste, I realised it this time round, the reason they're so good, they taste like grenadine. Oh, my God, Haribo Smurfs. Question 4. The 1986 biopic Sid and Nancy stars Gary Oldman as which famous bassist? And question 5 is geography. This is geography. It's capital cities. What is the capital city of Libya? Libya. What's the capital city of Libya? That's question 5. Question 5. What is the capital city of Libya? Anne Weaver is not a fan of pumpkin spice lattes, but is a fan of letting people like what they like, you liberal snowflake. How dare you? Question 5. I'm asking you, what's the capital of Libya? Samishati asks if we have Smurf soda. No, I have never had that. Is that a drink in Finland? Does it taste like grenadine? Is it just grenadine with sparkling water? Oh, but hey, grenadine Perrier. Now that's a drink. That is an absolute drink. Eileen Jones says, Haribo Smurfs, we can't get those. Oh, it tastes like pear. Yeah, I like pears. Pears are very nice. I love a conference pear. I would love to go to the island of Conference and eat conference pears. That must be a hell of a thing to do. What's the capital of Libya? Question specs. Question specs. Question specs. Question specs. Is food. Speaking of pears, the Braeburn apple, Braeburn, originates in which country? Question 6. The Braeburn apple originated in which country? That is question 6. Question 6. The Braeburn apple originated in which country? That is question 6. Question 6. I think the Braeburn apple it's not the best apple. It's never going to be the best apple. I don't know what the best apple is. I've had a lot of nice apples in my life. But of the... get him. Here comes old, I've had a lot of nice apples in my life, Felix. All right, for some, Mr. Lord of the Nice Apples, sitting on your massive pile of apples, just dipping down into your mound of apples, picking up a lovely tart apple, biting it in like some kind of apple monarch. Some of us have to eat terrible apples, like Golden Delicious. Anyway, Braeburns, I think of the ones that you get in like a corner supermarket in the UK and all of your countries, you're going to have different normal apples, but the normal ones for us, I think Braeburns are probably the best. They are reliably crisp, which is something that I look for in an apple. I've yet to enjoy a soft apple. I like a bit of crunch in an apple. I think that's why I like a conference pear as well. It's got a bit of crunch. A friend of mine got me into eating the whole of the apple, and I now eat the apple core as well, like some kind of mutant. Question 6, the Braeburn apple originates in which country? Question 7 is words. This is words. It's phobias. Acrophobia, A-C-R-O, acrophobia is the fear of what? A-C-R-O, phobia is the fear of what? That is question 7. Some Apple chat coming in. Honeycrisp, Envy, Fuji. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Fuji apple. I think I've seen that as aren't Fuji apples quite sort of ubiquitous in American supermarkets? We don't have those. And we don't have Honeycrisp, and we don't have Envy. That sounds incredible. An Envy apple. Presumably those are very green. Braeburn is a lovely eating apple and also bakes well. I do like a baked apple, but of course, if you bake an apple, it's going to lose its crispness. So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Acrophobia is the fear of what? Is question 7. And question 8. Question 8 is about laundry, specifically washing lines. The Hills Hoist is an iconic rotary washing line manufactured in what country? The Hills Hoist, Hills, hoist, is an iconic rotary washing line manufactured in what country? That is question 8, the Hills Hoist. Hello19 says, can I have potatoes as they're apples of the earth in French? They're indeed called pommes de terre. Yeah, but you have to tell us what kind of potatoes. I think that the best potatoes, and I'm biased here, this is a country preference, but I will always go for a binche potato, which you can't get in the UK. You can sometimes get them in France, but that's the standard potato of Belgium, and that is the potato that you want to make chips from, really, proper Belgian chips. You take a binche potato, which is actually a Dutch potato. You cut it up, and the trick is that you dry it first. You cut it up, and then you leave it out to dry, and then you cook it once, and then you cook it twice. I was listening to Heston Blumenthal talking about how he invented the triple cooked chip. Absolutely nonsense, because he's doing the same thing. His first cook is just drying it out. That's the standard way of cooking chips in Belgium. Binche potato. What are all your favorite what are your favorite varieties? Well, Hulu19 likes chips, but I mean varieties of potatoes. Maris Pipers are very good. King Edwards are very good. I like hearing about potato varieties that we don't have. Anne Weaver, for instance, refers to the white Kennebec potato. What kind of potato is a white Kennebec? Is it? It's a beautiful word, Kennebec, and it's a beautiful word to look at with the K at the beginning, the C at the end, and all those E's. Yukon Gold. God, that sounds amazing. Yukon Gold grown under the snow. The Hills Hoist is an iconic rotary washing line manufactured in what country? Question 9 now. Question 9 is sport. This is sport. Forward, backward, reverse, inward, and twisting are variations of which Olympic event? I'll give you those again. Forward, backward, reverse, inward, and twisting. Forward, backward, reverse, inward, and twisting are all variations of which Olympic event? Forward, backward, reverse, inward, and twisting. And that is my phone sadly overheating. Oh no, so sad. Hey, can you still hear me, folks? I'm going to try to get my phone to come back. Let me know that you can still hear me as I try to get the picture back. Audio still working, fantastic. Gosh, this is a shame. This was working yesterday when I so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my phone cool down and then bring it back. So you can still hear me, but the picture's gone. That's okay. Sorry about this, folks. As I say, it's 33 degrees here, which shouldn't affect it. And I'm hoping that my phone isn't just getting worse and I need to get some... Anyway, you don't care about that. Put the phone in the fridge. I think I'm just going to let it... Thank you. I think I'm going to let it cool down slowly. I worry about quickly chilling it. Question 10 now. Question 10. Which part of the body was protected by the Poleyn, P-O-L-E-Y-N, possibly Poleyn, I'm not sure, in a suit of armor? In a suit of armor, the Poleyn or Poleyn protects which part of the body? I am asking you, in a suit of armor, the Poleyn protects which part of the body? That is question 10. I'm going to move. Where am I going to move the phone to? I think away from the computer. Gosh, that's irritating. That's never happened before. Question. What are we on? 10. I'm asking you which part of the body was protected by the Poleyn, P-O-L-E-Y-N, in a suit of armor. That is question 10. Hey, we're halfway through this first I keep wanting to call it the first act. Oh God. I think I'm going to play. I'm going to play about a quizmaster. I wrote a play about a quizmaster once. It wasn't very good. So this first round, which part of the body was protected by the Poleyn in a suit of armor? Which means we have 10 questions left in the first round. You are all doing terribly well. Question 11. Question 11 is science. The Higgs boson is often referred to outside of the academic media as the what particle. So this is less in scientific literature and more in popular science. The Higgs boson is often referred to outside of academic media as the what particle. And Weaver asks if I said it was 33 degrees. I did say it was 33 degrees. At its height, it's probably cooled down a little bit. Temperature okay, it's got up to 28 degrees, which is 28 in Fahrenheit. That's 82 Fahrenheit. 33 is 91 Fahrenheit. CJ Lines missed question 9 because the cat decided to have a massive shit. I asked you for question 9. Forward, backward, reverse, inward, and twisting are all variations of which Olympic event? Question 11. The Higgs boson is often referred to outside of academic media as the what particle? And question 12. Question 12, I like to ask you a question about where I am. It is, at the minute, the Paris question. Jim Morrison of The Doors is buried in Père Lachaise Cemetery. You can go see it if you do a Père Lachaise tour. How old was Jim Morrison when he died? Jim Morrison is buried in Père Lachaise Cemetery. How old was he when he died? Gabrielle, oh, hey, Gabrielle, wants to read the play. You absolutely don't want to read the play. It was about a quiz team who was sort of falling apart. But what it had in inventiveness, it certainly lacked in plot. But it was a play that I wrote. There's a big new writing theatre here in London called the Royal Court. And that's where things like Look Back in Anger premiered. It's where Rocky Horror Picture Show premiered. So it's the UK's national new writing theatre. And they used to run a playwriting course for under 25s, and when I was under 25 I did that playwriting course, and the quizmaster play that came out of it was the play I wrote for them. It was quite rushed because I didn't have any ideas, but I met many good friends who I went on to collaborate with there. Anyway, question 12. Jim Morrison is buried in Père Lachaise Cemetery. How old was he when he died? Question 13. Now, question 13. This is geography. Geography. What is the name of the sea which is to the east of Nicaragua and to the south of Haiti, or Haiti, as I've seen it pronounced as well? What is the name of the sea to the east of Nicaragua and south of Haiti? And Weaver says, it's 70 degrees where you are, which is 21. Oh my God, that's ideal. 21. The perfect temperature. The temperature where you can comfortably just doss around in a t-shirt. Ah, beautiful. Well, what's the name of the sea to the east of Nicaragua and south of Haiti is question 13. Question 13. The name of the sea to the east of Nicaragua and to the south of, say, Haiti. We are looking for the name of a sea. I like geography questions because they're quite sort of democratic. Like, I think anything is fair game in geography. Whereas when we start getting into history and literature, the areas of things that I know are pretty Eurocentric. And I get a bit worried about going too far away from things that I have no connection to. Not that I have any connection to the seas of Nicaragua. Question 13. What's the name of the sea to the east of Nicaragua and south of Haiti? Question 14. Question 14. The four in hand, F-O-U-R, the Pratt, P-R-A-T-T, and the half Windsor are all varieties of what? Half Windsor, half hyphen Windsor, as in the royal family and the town. The four in hand, F-O-U-R hyphen I-N hyphen H-A-N-D, the Pratt, P-R-A-T-T, and the half Windsor are all varieties of what? Phone update. It's still quite hot. It is a little cooler than before, so it is cooling down. I think we can possibly aim to get it back up and running for the second half. I wish that you could just put it in the fridge. That would make things a lot easier. Look at my frozen face. What a face. What a profile. What a noble profile. Four in hand, the Pratt and the half Windsor are all varieties of what is question 14. Question 15 now. Question 15 is food. This is food. What's the main ingredient of sauerkraut? What is the main ingredient in sauerkraut? I dare say only ingredient, but I wouldn't like to say that for sure. What is the main ingredient in sauerkraut? There is some chat going on about temperatures. Very good. Eileen Jones went to Père Lachaise to see Abelard and Eloise and Chopin and Oscar Wilde. I love the Oscar Wilde Memorial. If you've never been to the Oscar Wilde Memorial in Paris, it's amazing. It's huge. It's got this like massive angel on it. And on it, he's written all of his school achievements, but none of his literary ones. So it's like, was captain of the cricket 11. It's hilarious. And people decorate it by kissing it. There's lipstick marks all over it. What's the main ingredient in sauerkraut? Question 16. Question 16 is music. Music. Please excuse me for being antisocial is one of the best-selling albums of 2020 so far by which musician? Please excuse me for being antisocial is one of the best albums of 2020 so far by which musician? That is question 16. Daisy Lovick, yes, Oscar Wilde's grave is the one covered in lipstick marks. Question 16. Please excuse me for being antisocial is one of the best-selling albums of 2020 so far by which musician? I believe it spent at least a month at number one in the American Hot 100, if not a bit longer. Please excuse me for being antisocial is the name of the album. I'm looking for the musician. That's question 16. And question 17 is coming up now. Question 17 is about kombucha. Kombucha is made by fermenting what drink? Kombucha is made by fermenting what drink? That is question 17. Question 17. Kombucha is made by fermenting what drink? That is question 17. Arakuri says, thanks, Felix. Your food question reminded me to take the apple pie out of the oven. Now, Arakuri, I need you to tell the entire group your recipe for apple pie. If you do anything different to a traditional apple pie, although I think apple pies change from country to country, and how yours has turned out. And if you serve it with anything, for instance, cream or ice cream, please let us know. Kombucha is made by fermenting what drink? 3 questions left in this first round, folks. 3 questions left. Here we go. Home straight for round 1. Your question 18. This is question 18. I've got literature, but really nursery rhymes. According to the nursery rhyme, oranges and lemons, plural, oranges and lemons, which church is owed 5 farthings? According to the nursery rhyme, oranges and lemons, which church is owed 5 farthings? Rachel Lloyd is chiseling a statue. Anne Weaver has never heard this nursery rhyme, and I suggest you name a church. Maybe a local one. It might have the same name. According to the nursery rhyme, oranges and lemons, which church is owed 5 farthings? If you're not from here, then trying to think when you might have heard it. Does it appear in V for Vendetta? It's one of those tunes. It starts, I won't do the whole thing, but it goes, oranges and lemons, sing the bells of St. Clement's, and then it goes on. It's one of those like signifiers. Oh, we're in London. There's children singing this. So you kind of see it in Victorian-ish media. According to the nursery rhyme, oranges and lemons, which church is owed 5 farthings? Anne Weaver's teammates have heard it. Great. Does anybody put cheddar cheese on their slice of apple pie? I have not, but it sounds nice. Apple and cheese is a classic combination. Do you get apple in a ploughman's lunch? I don't think you do. You certainly get onions, pickled onions, that is. The secret is cinnamon. I have had cinnamon on an apple pie. It was very nice. But let us know how it turns out. Question 19 is film. This is film. Which actor or actress appears in the films Where the Day Takes You, Shark Tale, and Collateral Beauty? Which actor or actress appears in the films Where the Day Takes You, Shark Tale, and Collateral Beauty? Which actor or actress appears in Where the Day Takes You, Shark Tale, and Collateral Beauty? Phone update. It's still warm, but definitely cooler. It's sort of warm to the touch. It feels like, when you're running a bath and you put your wrist under it and you're like, nearly there. Yeah, a little bit more than that, and that's the perfect temperature. So it's a bit cooler than perfect temperature for a bath. Which actor or actress appears in Where the Day Takes You, Shark Tale, and Collateral Beauty? That said, I like a really hot bath, so that might not be a thing that everyone agrees on. I like to turn into a lobster. And question 20 is your final question of this round. Question 20, the politician Andrew Holness, Holness, has been sworn in as Prime Minister of what country? That was your current affairs question this week. Andrew Holness became the Prime Minister of what country? Elected a few weeks ago, obviously, but only sworn in this week. Andrew Holness has been sworn in as Prime Minister of what country? So that's all the questions in round 1. I'm going to give them to you all again, give all of them to you again a bit quicker. Here we go. Question 1. The American Brittany Walsh holds the world record for the furthest arrow shot using what? Question 2. Name me a country that uses the Hangul alphabet. Hangul, Hangul. Question 3. How many prime ministers has Canada had in the 21st century? How many prime ministers has Canada had in the 21st century? Question 4. The 1986 biopic Sid and Nancy stars Gary Oldman as which famous bassist? Question 5. What's the capital of Libya? What's the capital of Libya? Question 6. The Braeburn apple originates in what country? That's the Braeburn. Question 7. Acrophobia, which I've written all in lowercase for some reason. I think in my head, if it's a word that you have to define, it's not allowed a capital letter. I don't know where I've picked that up. I think possibly I've picked that up from learning Latin as a schoolboy, because Latin's all in lowercase. Acrophobia is the fear of what? Well, it's all in one case anyway, and it's used, lowercase is used in textbooks. Question 8. The Hills hoist is an iconic rotary washing line manufactured in what country? The Hills hoist. Question 9. Forward, backward, reverse, inward, and twisting are all variations of which Olympic event? That's forward, backward, reverse, inward, and twisting. Question 10. Which part of the body was protected by the Polleyn, I'm sorry that I don't know the pronunciation, couldn't find it, Poleyn, in a suit of armor? Looking for a part of a body. Question 11. The Higgs boson is often referred to outside of the academic media as the what particle? We're looking for an informal name for the Higgs boson. Question 12. Jim Morrison is buried in Père Lachaise. How old was he when he died? Question 13. What's the name to the east of the... What is the name of the sea to the east of Nicaragua and south of Haiti? Question 14. The 4 in hand, the Pratt, and the half Windsor are all varieties of what? Question 15. What's the main ingredient in sauerkraut? What's the main ingredient in sauerkraut? Question 16. Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial is one of the best-selling albums of 2020 so far by which musician? That's Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. Question 17. Kombucha is made by fermenting what drink? That's kombucha, Kombucha. Question 18. According to the nursery rhyme Oranges and Lemons, which church is owed 5 farthings? Question 19. Which actor or actress appears in Where the Day Takes You, Shark Tale, and Collateral Beauty? That's Where the Day Takes You, Shark Tale, and Collateral Beauty. And question 20. Andrew Holness, that's Andrew Holness, has been sworn in as Prime Minister of what country? Let's see how the phone's doing. Yeah, okay. It's got to the temperature of a disappointing cup of tea. You know when you've left your cup of tea for too long and you're like, oh, it's drinkable. It's a waste if I don't drink it. And also if I leave tea or throw it out, I feel weird. So I'll drink it. It's that temperature. But we'll let it cool down a bit more. You have got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Pens down. Get your marking pens out as we mark round 1. Ticks and crosses, please. Then add your scores up and put them in the sign-up sheet. Oh, wouldst thou like to quiz deliciously joined us? Hello. Here are the answers to round 1. Question 1. The American Brittany Welsh holds the world record for the furthest arrow shot using her feet. Her feet. I specifically said 12 meters because her record is 40 feet, but I didn't want to give it away. Her feet. Look up the pictures. It's really cool. Question 2. The Hangul alphabet is used. You could have given me either of the Koreas. It's the alphabet used for Korean. It's called Hangul in South Korean, and in North Korea, it's called, there's a lot of diacritics on this, so I'm definitely saying it wrong, but Chosunggul is the best that I can aim for at the minute. If you speak Korean, please correct me. Question 3. How many prime ministers has Canada had in the 21st century? It has had 4 prime ministers. 4. Prime Ministers. CJ Lyons put crossbow. You fell into my trap. Sorry. I was hoping people would say things like that. 4. Question 4. The 1996 biopic Sid and Nancy. The Sid in the title is Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious. Question 4. Sid Vicious of the Sex Pistols. Question 5. Question 5. I've lost the questions. Here they are. Capital of Libya is Tripoli. Tripoli. Question 6. The Braeburn was originally planted in New Zealand. It's a kiwi apple, rather pleasingly. New Zealand. Question 7. Acrophobia. Well, Acrobat might have given it to you. It's the fear of heights. Heights. Question 8. The Hills Hoist, the iconic rotary washing line. If you're not from this country and you weren't aware that this was an icon, you might remember it from the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games in Sydney. It's Australian. Australia. Question 9. Forward, back, reverse, inward, and twisting. All types of dive. Diving is the answer I was after. Diving. The other event is, what's it called? Is it board stand? Plank stand? Plank hand? You do a handstand on the plank, I think. Something like that. Question 10. Question 10. The part of the body protected by the pollen is the knee or kneecap. The knee. The knee. Question 11. The Higgs boson, often referred to as the God particle. God particle. Question 12. Jim Morrison died at aged 27. He's part of the 27 Club. 27. Question 13. The sea to the east of Nicaragua and south of Haiti is the Caribbean Sea. The Caribbean Sea. Question 14. The 4-in-hand, the Pratt, and the half Windsor are all varieties of tie knot. Different knots for tying your tie. Tie knot. I'll accept knot. Question 15. The main ingredient in sauerkraut is cabbage. Cabbage. Hulu 19 put legs instead of knee. Does that count? No, it does not count. Because the whole legs are protected by the greaves at the bottom, the Pauline, and is it cleats after that? There's another bit. Cabbage. Question 16. Please excuse me for being antisocial. That's Roddy Rich. Roddy Rich. See how the phone's doing? Phone is now the temperature of grass that you would happily walk on without a shoe. I think it can cool down a little more than that, but we're nearly there. Roddy Rich. Question 16. Question 17. Kombucha is made by fermenting tea. 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 Question 18. Oranges and lemons. There's actually various versions of this rhyme, but the version that has 5 farthings that I could find is "You owe me 5 farthings, say the bells of St. Martin's." That's St. Martin's in the Fields, which has a very good cafe. St. Martin's. Although if you actually look at the lyrics of Oranges and Lemons, I think it's a consortium between St. Martin's, the Old Bailey, and Stepney. All 3 of them seem to be beneficiaries of this loan. Which is fine. It's a very small loan for 3 churches to give. But then I suppose in the olden days, money counted for more. Question 19. Question 19. The actor or actress I was after, it's Will Smith. Will Smith. And question 20. Andrew Holness has been sworn in as the Prime Minister of Jamaica. 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 Add those up. Let's see how you did. Pop your scores In the score sheet, please. In the sign-up sheet. 13 for You Can't Do an Ollie Without Breaking a Few Legs. Very good. 17 for La Traviata. Well done. 7 for Troublers. 15 for Don't You Want Me, Baby. Don't You Want Me, 11 for the Knuckleheads. 15 for Silently Eating Thai Food. 12 for Sweet Sweet Human Contact. 18 for David the Problem Parrot. Oh, looks like we might have a round one winner there, unless it can be beaten. No, 12 for Whiskey's the Soup of the Day. Rule of 6. What have you given? What have you got? Come on then. Oh, CJ missed the answers to 17 and 18. 17 is T, 18 St. Martin's. 8 for Table for One. 13 for Rule of 6. CJ would like to be called Mr. Particle. Okay. Well, would thou like to quiz deliciously? Possibly that, CJ. Let us know when you know. 7. Very good. Okay, folks. 18 score to beat. Very well done, David the Problem Parrot. So let us take a 10-minute break. In that break, have a look at the picture round. Picture round over at tiny.cc/ft picture round 159, or just click on the link in the sign-up sheet. You have got 10 car manufacturer emblems. Name the car manufacturer. They're from all around the world. Some are easy, some are fiendish. And I will go through the answers to that at the end of the quiz, after the answers to round 2. While you're doing that, do make sure you go to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench, coffee.com/Felix Trench, drop a couple of quid per player in the jar. Here's the music. I will be back in 10 minutes with round 2 and a working phone, which will hopefully give us at least half an hour of video before it overheats again. I hope that doesn't happen. Here comes the music, played at a level that's loud enough for you, but soft enough for my neighbours with the open door. See you at 20 past. Pop quiz, metaphorical prizes. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome. 3 minutes, everyone. 3 minutes. Bianca absolutely necking the peppermint tea. Welcome, 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 welcome to the pub quiz. Pub quiz. Pub quiz. Pub quiz. What an ankle. I love it. Hi. In filmmaking, this is what they call a dirty frame. In filmmaking. What a phrase, Felix. Hi, I'm in filmmaking. Oh god. I need a ledge here. Should I just hold it? I'm going to hold it for a while. See what that's like. I love it. What a shot. All right, folks, we're gonna have a handheld camera for a while until my hand gets bored. Of course, that might cause it to overheat as well. But I'm a maverick who doesn't play by the rules. God, you can watch your feet, it's heating up. Cancel. If I turn you off, does that stop you overheating? Also, if I hold it up, it might catch the breeze. I'm like the Kubrick of the pub quiz world. Stanley Kubrick. You know what his job was? He was in filmmaking. All right, folks. Hope you had a nice break. I certainly did. I got some more water. It's over there. Here we go with round 2. Round 2, the fun round. So called because it's more fun, because it's more difficult, but something not too hard to kick us off. It's just flags. Question 21. Question 21. If you're on the other side of the room and you've just realized that I'm no longer blethering about phones, quick dash back. Here's question 21. What are the colors of the flag of Quebec? Question 21. What are the colors of the flag of Quebec? That's question 21. Question 21. What are the colours of the flag of Quebec? I love this angle. This is fabulous. Look at that. I look like I'm in like a web series sitcom. We're about to cut to my flatmate, the crazy one. Question 21. What are the colours of the flag of Quebec? Question 22. Question 22. This is music. Music. In what year did Zayn Malik leave One Direction? Question 22. In what year did Zayn leave One Direction? Question 22. Question 22. In what year did Zayn Malik leave One Direction? That's question 22. Question 23. Question 23 is the maths question. This is maths. Without using a calculator, what is the cubic root of minus 512? That's minus 512. What's the cubic root of minus 512? That's question 23, the maths question. So we know that Bianca Bonillo went to get another cup of potent peppermint tea. Anyone else go and get a drink? What did you get? Did anyone get food? Oh, food. Remember food. I love food. I got that cheese in the fridge, and I've got a bit of baguette left. I think that's going to be dinner. And I've got some radishes. Oh, I love a radish. And I've got a tomato. I've got a big beef tomato. Yeah, I'm going to have the tomato chopped up with some radishes and cheese in the end of the baguette. It's going to be great. I've got a story about that tomato, but you'll have to wait. For question 24, this is question 24. It's brands. Brands. Did someone say ice cream? CJ had some ice cream. That's funny, because this is about ice cream. Specifically about cornettos. On a cornetto, the inside is coated in chocolate. Why? We don't often do why questions because they can be subject to interpretation, but I think this one's pretty clear-cut. In fact, I know it is because of Rule 2. Oh, I didn't do the rules tonight. I've just got used to you all. Rule 1, no more than 6 players to a team. Rule 2, I'm always right. Rule 3, no cheating, by which I mean no Googling. God, I can go through this much quicker than I normally do. What am I doing? Fannying about? Waffling on? Entertaining, that's what I'm doing. Question 24. Why is there chocolate on the inside of a cornetto? And question 25. Question 25. This is politics. Politics of the 1970s. What's the name of the president of Chile who was deposed in 1973? Question 25. What's the name of the president of Chile who was deposed in 1973? Eileen's waiting on her husband to bring the coffee. Come on, husband. Hurry up. Eileen, tell us what your coffee maker is. I'm a mocha pot person. What do you use? Question 25. What's the name of the president of Chile who was deposed in 1973? Or more to the point, what does your husband use? You might have different machines. Question 26. Question 26 is musical instruments. In a traditional Mexican mariachi group, what is the name of the large 6-string bass guitar? In a traditional Mexican mariachi group, there will be a player of a large 6-string bass guitar. Looks like a larger normal guitar, but it's not. It's a bass guitar. Different tuning. What is its name? That is question 26. Samastati says, I would drink glug, 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 glog, glug. How do we say that? What is it? And it's too warm for a hot drink. Well, we know that glug, glug, glog, glug is a hot drink. CJ Lyons is a big fan. CJ, maybe you can illuminate. In a traditional Mexican mariachi group, what's the name of the large 6-string bass guitar? And question 27. Question 27 is geography. By land area, what's the smallest country in Central America? I am looking for countries that are within the main body of land. Don't count islands or island nations. By land area, what is the smallest country in Central America? CJ Lyons found a bottle in the cupboard while doing a clear out recently that went out of date in 2005. Don't dare open. Oh, I don't blame you. I wouldn't open that. It's Scandinavian mulled wine. Okay. I'm trying to remember what the German name for that is. Isn't that similar? I have to look that up. But I'm asking you, by land area, what's the smallest country in Central America? Glühwein, that's it. You know, when you start looking something up and then it just comes to you. Because you're a genius. By land area, what's the smallest country in Central America? That is question 27. Not including island nations. So continental Central America, that's the word that I was after. I am not including island nations. These are within the main body of land. It's question 27. By land area, what's the smallest country in Central America? Not counting island nations. Question 28. Question 28 is film. This is film franchises. What was the name of the 5th entry in the Terminator franchise, which was released in 2015? What was the name of the 5th Terminator film? I am only looking for films. Only films count. The TV series and various web spin-offs do not for this question. Anyway. What was the name of the 5th entry of the Terminator franchise released in 2015? It was not Terminator 5. Had a subtitle. Sonashati tells us, I always saw a bottle during the late winter, so I can start drinking it early in the fall because stores don't have it before like October, and that is criminal. But is it the same as in Britain, where it is essentially a Christmas drink, or is it more of a kind of winter-long drink? I say Christmas drink. I mean, you start seeing it around Halloween. You definitely see it at Guy Fawkes. But I'd still argue that it's more associated with Christmas than either of those. Question 29. Question 29 is history. This is history of Egypt. Was Ramses II an Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, or New Kingdom pharaoh? Ancient Egypt is divided into the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. All I want you to tell me is, out of those three, Ramses II or Ramesses II was which? Eileen says that the coffee arrived. I think you also told me about your coffee machines, but I was distracted with Gluck. No, I can't see it. Never mind. I trust that you have good coffee machines. Question 29. Was Ramses II an Old, Middle, or New Kingdom pharaoh? This Steadicam thing is working. I thought my arm would get tired, but I guess I've just got a great arm. Question 30. Question 30 is theatre. The Noel Coward play Still Life was adapted into which film starring Celia Johnson? The Noel Coward play Still Life was adapted into which film starring Celia Johnson? That's question 30, which means we have 10 questions left in this round and the quiz. Home straight, everyone. In terms of navigating the solar system, we've got to Neptune with Pluto in sight. I'm including Pluto. I don't want it to feel left out. The Noel Coward play Still Life was adapted into which film starring Celia Johnson? That is question 30. Oh, thank you for telling me, for bringing the coffee chat back. Sunbeam C35 double bubble vacuum coffee maker from 1938. The same they used in the original Miracle on 34th Street. I've never seen Miracle on 34th Street, so that is a reference beyond me. But I'm going to copy paste. See what that looks like. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Hey, everyone. Look up that coffee maker that Eileen just put in the chat. It is beautiful. That's a gorgeous machine. I love that. Well done. So, question 31. Question 31 is art. Art. The art is Michelangelo's David. In the art, Michelangelo's David, is his left arm folded, his right arm folded, or neither folded? In Michelangelo's David, is his left arm folded, his right arm folded, or neither folded? It's not both. They're not folded across his chest. It'd be really funny if his arms were folded. I don't want to pose. In Michelangelo's David, on Michelangelo's David, I don't know. It's not really in if it's a statue. Is his left arm, right arm, or neither arm folded? Question 31. Anne Weaver asks what I mean by folded. I mean not fully extended, at least partially creased in some way. It's question 31. In Michelangelo's David, is his left arm, right arm, or neither arm folded? Question 32 now. Question 32 is sport, and that sport is Scrabble. In the sport of Scrabble, otherwise known as the board game of Scrabble, how many blank tiles are there? Now, I went through about half of all languages of standard Scrabble sets. I didn't look at all of them, but in the half that I looked through, it was the same number. So I think this should probably apply everywhere, but perhaps if you get to Zulu, there's a different number. I don't know. Certainly in English and certainly in Finnish. How many blank tiles are there in a standard Scrabble set? That's question 32. Scrabble is a contact sport. It's a dangerous sport. If played properly, Scrabble should draw blood. Or write blood if you've got two eyes. What would that score? 4. What's D? Is D 3 or 4? D. Was it 2? Scores. Is 2. So 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 points for blood. Not great. Anyway, how many blank tiles are in a standard Scrabble set? Question 33. Question 33 is about glue, specifically Pritt sticks. In what year of the 1960s, so you've got a choice of 10, did the German company Henkel invent the Pritt stick? In what year was the Pritt stick invented? It's question 33. In what year of the 1960s did the German company Henkel invent the Pritt stick? That is question 33. Question 33. In what year did Henkel invent the Pritt stick? Question 33. In what year did the German company Henkel invent the Pritt stick? That's question 33. Question 33. All the threes. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. No, only 2 threes. 3, 3, 3, 3. 33. I hope it was. In what year of the 60s did the German company Henkel invent the Pritt stick? And question 34. Question 34. In 2019, that's last year, believe it or not, Coca-Cola re-released a limited run of their drink called New Coke in partnership with which TV series? This was a cross-promotion event. In 2019, Coca-Cola re-released a limited run of New Coke in partnership with which TV series? That's question 34. In 2019, Coca-Cola re-released New Coke for a limited run in partnership with which television series? Oh, I can hear a neighbor. Question 35 now. Question 35 is your internet question. I like to ask you an internet question because you're on the internet and you're not real. I'm the only real one here. The chemical symbol for scandium is also the domain suffix for which country? So domain suffixes, like .fr for France, .it for Italy, and so on. The chemical symbol for scandium, SCANDIUM, is also the domain suffix for which country? That's question 35. Anne Weaver says she's as real as an avocado, which is how Americans say avocado. But she would say that because she's been programmed to believe that. Imagine if this was Second Life and you logged in every week to Second Life to deliver a pub quiz to a load of made up people. That would be amazing. Question 35. The chemical symbol for scandium is also the domain suffix for which country? 5 questions left. Question 36. Question 36. I'm going to give you 4 words. You give me a 5th word that can go after all 4 of them. There's only one, but it can go after all of them to give new meaning, either as a suffix or as a separate word. Your 4 words are shadow, SHADOW, boom, BOOM, gear, GEAR, and kick, KICK. Shadow, boom, gear, and kick. Shadow, boom, gear, and kick. So we are looking for a word that can go after all 4 of those. Shadow, boom, gear, and kick. A word that can go after all of them. Oh, delighted to learn that Finland's not real. I knew it. It's a trick. Trick to make us believe that there is a promised land of tar and pine trees. God, I want to go to Finland. It sounds amazing. Apparently you can get reindeer pizza. And I assume reindeer are other things, I don't know. What can go after shadow, boom, gear, and kick? Question 37. Question 37. This is music. Music. How many years passed between Taylor Swift releasing her album 1989 and Ryan Adams releasing his cover album 1989, which covered Taylor Swift's 1989 entire album? How many years between Taylor Swift's 1989 and Ryan Adams's 1989 cover album? I'm looking for the number of years that elapsed before Ryan Adams came out with his version. How many years passed between Taylor Swift releasing her album 1989 and Ryan Adams releasing his cover album 1989? We have gone full Matrix. I need to add a green filter to make it properly Matrix. If I move the light around, will it go green? No. Ooh, quite like that. Welcome to Spooky Stories with me, Felix Trench. I tell spooky stories. No, I don't. That's other people. How many years between 1989 and 1989 were released? Question 38. Question 38 is sharks. Sharks. Which is larger? The whale shark, the great white shark, or the basking shark? Which is larger, the whale shark, the great white shark, or the basking shark? That's question 38. Question 38. Which is larger? The whale shark, the great white shark, and the basking shark. Rachel Lloyd would like a pint of milk. What an odd thing to ask for from the fridge. I'd like 1 pint of milk, please. I guess unless you drink milk by the pints, in which case it's normal. I take it back. It's a normal thing to ask for. Which is larger of those kind of sharks? Whale, great white, or basking? That's question 38. Question 39 now. Question 39 is literature. Literature. Who wrote Day of the Triffids and the Midwich Cuckoos? Who wrote Day of the Triffids and the Midwich Cuckoos? Question 39. Question 39. Who wrote Day of the Triffids and the Midwich Cuckoos? And question 40, or final question of tonight's quiz, is the current affairs question. Astronomers have announced that they might have found signs of gaseous life on which planet? Astronomers have announced that there are potential signs of life in the gases of which planet? It's question 40. Very exciting story, this. And that is all your questions in the first round. Lou would ask for milk, but is no longer sure if milk exists. Doesn't. Well, my milk exists. I'm buzzing. Not for any good reason. So, folks, here are your questions again. I'm going to go through all of those again, and I'm going to go through them a little quicker. Here we go. Question 21. What are the colours of the flag of Quebec? Colours of the flag of Quebec. Question 22. In what year did Zayn Malik leave One Direction? What year did Zayn leave One Direction? Question 23. What's the cubic root of minus 512? The cubic root of minus 512. Question 24. Why is there chocolate on the inside of a cornetto? Why is there chocolate on the inside of a cornetto? Question 25. What's the name of the president of Chile who was deposed in 1973? Name the president of Chile. Question 26. In a traditional Mexican mariachi group, what's the name of the large 6-string bass guitar? We're looking for a bass guitar. Question 27. By land area, what is the smallest country in Central America, not counting the islands or island nations? Only continental. Question 28. What was the name of the fifth entry in the Terminator franchise released in 2015? The fifth one, please. Question 29. Was Ramses II an old, middle, or new kingdom pharaoh? What kind of pharaoh was Ramses II? Question 30. The Noel Coward play Still Life was adapted into which film starring Celia Johnson? The Noel Coward play Still Life was adapted into which film starring Celia Johnson? Question 31. In Michelangelo's David, or on, or as part of, is it his left arm that's folded, his right arm that's folded, or neither arm that's folded? Question 32. How many blank tiles are there on a standard Scrabble set? How many blank tiles? Question 33. In what year of the 60s did the German company Henkel invent the Pritt stick? In what year of the 1960s was the Pritt stick invented? Question 34. In 2019, Coca-Cola re-released a limited run of New Coke in partnership with which TV series? Coca-Cola re-released New Coke in partnership with which TV series? Question 35. The chemical symbol for scandium is also the domain suffix for which country? The chemical symbol for scandium is also the domain suffix for which country? Question 36. What word can go after shadow, boom, gear, and kick? What word can go after shadow, boom, gear, and kick? Question 37. How many years passed between Taylor Swift releasing 1989 and Ryan Adams releasing the cover album 1989? Question 38. Which is larger, the whale shark, the great white shark, or the basking shark? Whale, great white, or basking? Question 39. Who wrote Day of the Triffids and the Midwich Cuckoos? Who wrote Day of the Triffids and the Midwich Cuckoos? And question 40. On what planet have astronomers announced there is a possibility of life in gaseous form, or in the gases? Question 40. CJ Lines managed to blank out question 29. 29. Was Ramses II an Old Kingdom pharaoh, a Middle Kingdom pharaoh, or a New Kingdom pharaoh? That's question 29. Okay, folks. You've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. CJ has blanked out 28. What was the fifth Terminator film? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, pens down, pens down. Pick up your marking pens, put on your marking shoes. Let's go with the answers to round 2. Well, question 21. What are the colours of the flag of Quebec? They are blue and white. It's white on a blue cross with 4 white fleur-de-lis. Blue and white. Question 32. Zayn Malik left One Direction in 2015. 2015. Question 23. The cubic root of minus 512 is minus 8. Minus 8. Question 24. Why is there chocolate on the inside of a cornetto? It's to stop the cone from going soggy. This was the big innovation in selling packaged ice cream cones. If you put chocolate on the inside, you could now sell it because the cone wouldn't go soggy. Very clever. Question 25. The name of the president of Chile was deposed in 1973. Allende. Salvador Allende. Replaced, of course, by Pinochet. Allende. Question 26. In the traditional Mexican mariachi group, that large 6-string bass guitar is called a guitarrón. A guitarrón or guitarrón mexicano. Guitarrón, like guitar with ron stuck on the other end. 27. The smallest country of Central America is El Salvador. El Salvador. Question 28. The 5th entry of the Terminator franchise was Terminator Genesis, which I saw, and it was all right. Terminator Genesis. They spelt it really weird. They spelt it genie without the E, and then system without the tum. Question 29. Ramses II. Just going to check this. I think I've written the wrong answer. Oh, no, I don't. Ramses II was a New Kingdom pharaoh. New. In my head, I thought he was middle, but no, he's new. New Kingdom. Question 30. The Noel Coward play Still Life adapted into Brief Encounter. Brief Encounter. Question 31. In Michelangelo's David, it is his left arm. It's doing this. He's kind of got his jacket over his shoulder like he's a detective at the end of the day, and he's had a good day and it's going home. Left arm. Question 32. How many blank tiles are there in a standard Scrabble set? There are 2 blank tiles. Only 2. Question 33. Henkel invented the Pritt stick in 1969. 1969. Question 34. In 2019, Coca-Cola re-released New Coke in partnership with Stranger Things. Stranger Things Season 3 came out and did a partnership promotion. Stranger Things. Question 35. The chemical symbol for scandium is .sc, which is the domain suffix for the Seychelles. Seychelles. Question 36. The weapon go after shadow, boom, gear, and kick. Box to shadow box, boom box, gear box, and kick box. You can't see it, but I kicked my leg. Box. Question 37. How many years passed between 1989 and 1989? It's 1. 1 year passed. In fact, it wasn't even a year. It was 11 months. She did it. She released it in October. He released it in September, I think. 1 year. Question 38. The largest shark is the whale shark. The whale shark, then the basking shark, then the great white shark. The whale shark. Question 39. Who wrote Day of the Triffids and the Midwich Cuckoos? It's John Wyndham. John Wyndham also wrote The Kraken Wakes and that one that's set in Canada, The Chrysalids, and other things. And question 40. The planet on which there might be life in the gases is Venus. Venus. Aren't they Venusians in Fahrenheit 451? Doesn't that go terribly? Yeah. So let's go through all of those again. A bit quicker. Question 21, blue and white, blue and white. Question 22, 2015, 2015. Question 23, -8, -8. Question 24, stop the cone going soggy. Question 25, Allende, Allende. Question 26, Guitarón. Question 27, El Salvador is the smallest country in continental Central America. Question 28, Terminator Genesis, or Genesis. Question 29, Ramses II was a new kingdom pharaoh. Question 30, still life became brief encounter. Brief encounter. Question 31, it's his left arm. Question 32, 2 blank tiles. Question 33, 1969. Question 34, Stranger Things. Question 35, the Seychelles. Question 36, box. Question 37, 1 year. Question 38, the whale shark. Question 39, John Wyndham. Question 40, Venus. So let's see how you've done after that. The team to look out for was David the Problem Parrot. And immediately it's looking like they have remained with a solid lead. Another 18. Very well done, David the Problem Parrot. Can't speak. Need to eat. Lovely radishes waiting for me. Bringing you up to 36 points, but also 17 for Devon You Want Me Baby, Devon You Want Me Oh. 15 for Whiskey is the Soup of the Day there, which brings you up to 27. 32 overall for Silently Eating Thai Food While My Parents Sleep. Is that just one person in that team who's got 32? If so, that's incredibly impressive. Well done. 15 for Troublers. Very good, folks. Just waiting on rule of 6. Tell us what they got in that round. Well, no doubt we will find out soon. So let's talk about the picture round. I asked you to identify 10 car manufacturer logos. Let me just pull it up here myself. Some are easy, some not so much. Here we go. Picture 1, nice and easy one, this one. That's Toyota. Toyota. T-O-N-Y, all kind of... I assume that's why it looks like that, because it looks like 3 letters. Picture 2, rather. DMC. Okay, maybe a tricky one, this one. That stands for the DeLorean Motor Company. Oh, someone's smoking. DeLorean. Picture 2, that is DeLorean. Picture 3, that is obviously Audi. Audi. We had an Audi 80, my family. A brown Audi 80. To this day, I find looking up the brown Audi 80 Google image search very soothing. Audi. Picture 4, that is Seat. Seat, the Spanish car company. Seat. Picture 5, I wanted some Russians in here. That's Lada. Lada. Picture 5 is Lada. Picture 6, that's Citroën. Citroën. French company Citroën. Picture 7, pretty easy to identify this one. Big H is Hyundai. Hyundai. Picture 9, the fancy one. It's for fancy cars. It's Ferrari. Ferrari. Picture 9, big L. That's Lexus. Lexus. And picture 10, The other fancy one is the other fancy car. It's Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo. DeLoreans are pretty fancy as well. All of those again. Picture 1, Toyota. Picture 2, DeLorean. Picture 3, Audi. Picture 4, Seat. Picture 5, Lada. Picture 6, Citroen. Picture 7, Hyundai. Picture 8, Ferrari. Picture 9, Lexus. And picture 10, Alfa Romeo. £10 points for David the Problem Parrot there, thanks to a childhood in communist Poland. Did you have a Lada, people on that team? 10 points also for Whiskey's the Soup of the Day, and for the Troublers, and for Devon, You Want Me Baby, who put their score down to their Top Gear fanaticism. Just waiting on one team, but I don't think they can win. No, they can't. So, winners tonight with a very strong 46 points. Congratulations, David the Problem Parrot. You win tonight's quiz with a very good score. That's really good, 46 out of 50. Very well done. All that leaves is the best team name. Best team name tonight is Silently Eating Thai Food While My Parents Sleep. Congratulations, Silently Eating Thai Food. You win best team name. That's it, folks. Do remember, please, to go to ko-fi.com/Felix Trench and drop a couple of quid per player in the jar if you haven't already. I will be back here next week on the 22nd of September for another Parisian pub quiz. Hopefully my phone won't overheat this time. I think I figured out why I did. Have a lovely week. I'll see you then. Good night. Bonsoir. Bonne soirée. Au revoir. End stream. Fini.